You've arrived at the Frontline Records Rewind, 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 Rewind.
Hello, listeners. This is your executive producer, Adele Meisenheimer. I want to welcome you to Frontline Records Rewind. It's a very special episode today because we are at Casa Carlsen, the home of Les Carlsen, lead singer of Bloodgood, one of our very, very favorite bands of all time on Frontline Records. And so, Les, welcome to the show.
Hey, everybody, welcome to mi casa. That's about as much Spanish as I know.
Yeah.
Como se llama? Me llamo Les. Okay.
There you go.
Nice to have you here with us today.
That's right. That's right.
Hi, Adele.
Hi, Les.
So let's get on with the show, huh?
Yeah, you know, we have a really cool show because we released a compilation called Frontline Presents The Passion.
Yeah.
It's a metal Easter theme album. It's got 15 songs from our very best metal hard music groups.
Oh, I know. It melted my face.
Oh,
It was great.
good.
It was great. Yeah.
Well, we're going to get to a lot of them. We're going to get to the artists anyway. You know, at least get one song in from the artists on this project. You know, what kicks it off really is Bloodgood, and it just ushers us into the Last Supper, right?
Right.
With the song.
Yeah. Eat the flesh.
Exactly. And then it goes right into Crucify, which tell us about that, the viewpoint of Crucify, and tell us about that song.
Well, basically, that's when, Christ came before Pilate, and Pilate was basically seeing that, hey, there's, this man is innocent. I want to let him go, and you want to crucify him. But his blood is not going to be on my hands. And as it turns out, he tried to get rid of that, but he couldn't. He sent him out to Herod, and he came back, and and he ultimately had him crucified. Yeah. So those songs together, "Eat the Flesh," "Crucify," and then later on in the show we're going to do "Messiah." But it is that whole thing that happened over that weekend of blood that took place. And that blood that was shed for our lives. And that's, we do celebrate Easter, and it's a happy time for a lot of people. But without that crucifixion and resurrection, there would be no salvation. So it's extremely important. And the blood of Christ is so potent and so valuable. And this album is a bunch of artists that came together, on this particular compilation to talk about that day.
Right.
When Christ was crucified and risen.
Yeah. Preach it, brother.
Yeah.
Preach it. So this is off Bloodgood's Detonation album. And so let's go right into the song Eat the Flesh and then into Crucify. Here you go.
Fire! He's your king. Crucify. Why? Crucify. Why? Crucify. Why? I have the power to free him. I wash my hands. He's done nothing. He's your king, not mine. All right. All right. I wash my hands on this member.
All right, that was Bloodgood. We got to hear Eat the Flesh, Crucify. Part of that trilogy is Messiah. We're going to play that a little bit later. It brings it all together. The next song is from the group Mortification.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Mortification.
I love that title,
Yeah.
Mortification. Now, I know that it's the act of something, mortifying. Now, being mortified is being scared, I guess. I was mortified.
That's what we think, yeah.
Yeah, I love that.
Now, it's the wimpy first name was Light Force.
See, now Light Force doesn't work for me.
Yeah.
So Mortification, that works for me because you buy the CD and you're thinking Mortification, that's perfect. But if you bought a CD and it was saying Light Force and then you heard Mortification do it, you'd be going, wait a minute.
Yeah.
I thought, so good move, guys.
Yeah. Now, this is what's considered a death metal band. Okay, do you remember back in the day when death metal started happening, especially in the Christian world? What was going on?
Well, we have a different kind of a death, in the Christian mind. To die to self is what allows you to become like Christ, and so it's a different kind of a death metal sort of a thing.
Yeah.
But people that have become Christians and had their minds transformed and changed, then they understand. So yeah, Mortification, great title, and these guys are awesome.
Well, and they used one of your songs that Michael wrote.
Oh, they did Black Snake.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, the guy sang it way lower than me.
I think so.
I loved it.
Yeah, so, Mortification, Bloodgood, you're related somehow,
I know,
Yeah.
I know.
Well, intro this song from Mortification.
All right,
for
I'm
us.
going to do it in my best Mortification voice.
All right.
This is Blood Sacrifice.
Transgressions, crushed through our iniquities. He was surely broken, tied to set us free. He was whipped, he was crushed, Christ was nailed. He was mocked, he was bruised, crushed alone. Christ he was inflicted, he took the sin of man. Being on a wooden cross, God's eternal plan. For salvation through submission to the Lord. Your position of redemption through the blood. Blood sacrifice, he died instead. Blood sacrifice, for all of us he bled. Blood sacrifice, salvation in him. Blood sacrifice, accept him and you live. God, can you see the blood flowing from his hands and his soul from sin?
thank you. That was blood sacrifice as less.
No, blood sacrifice is what I say.
That's right.
Can you get that?
Thank you. I couldn't do that. Yeah, or my voice would be wiped out for the rest of this interview.
No need. Don't do that.
Yeah.
Don't hurt yourself.
Right. Although I think when I hear those singers, I think that, yes, it is painful. Now, Steve Rowe, of course, is Mortification. Always has been. He's a guy from Australia, as everybody knows. Huge following for Mortification. Over 20 albums and a whole bunch of videos.
Yeah.
He's still going.
And by the way, Steve, I just want to tell you, I do love your version of Black Snake. So, way to go, man.
There you go. All right. Well, another really powerful band that came out of Frontline Records, which it's amazing, isn't it? That all these bands were under this label, Intense.
Yes.
Vengeance Rising. Originally called Vengeance.
Yeah.
Yeah, had to change their name. Some band in Europe had Vengeance. So it's Vengeance Rising.
Yes.
They were considered speed metal, right?
Yeah, I mean, well, yes. And we were speed metal, but then there was another degree of speed metal, and it was Vengeance Rising, because I went and saw those guys, and man, I couldn't believe it. They had the super long hair, and their necks were just hooked up on their shoulders, and their heads were just like flipping around. If you were in the front row, you could get whiplash. I mean, they got whiplash, but you could get whipped by the guy's hair and stuff. It was crazy. It was wild. Nobody would think it was Christian, but they definitely are and were and still are.
And I think they're also called thrash metal, maybe for the hair, heads thrashing.
Thrash, I think it was thrash metal, because you get caught in a crowd and you're thrashing to get out. I don't know. I remember doing, when that mosh pit first started, and we were in Cornerstone. Bloodgood was doing Cornerstone. We were doing Crucify, and they started the mosh pit. Afterwards, I was like, okay, Jesus already took the beating. But that's cool, guys. If you want to inflict pain on yourselves, fire it up.
That'd be a scary place to be, right there.
Yeah, I wasn't in there very often, no.
Yeah. Well, not long ago we had several of the Vengeance Rising members on the show, because the 25th anniversary vinyl edition was released of their first album, Human Sacrifice.
Wow.
Yeah, it was great. We talked to 4 of the guys, and they were really fun, actually. And so, when you start celebrating 25th anniversaries, it's
serious.
Yeah. And then those members went on to form the band Die Happy.
Wow.
So without lead singer Roger Martinez. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So they've been around. They're still, Die Happy guys are still around there. So we've got the song Human Sacrifice, which really was groundbreaking. I mean, people, Doug Van Pelt, back in the day, editor of Heaven's Metal, said that they were the most radical Christian. That was the most radical Christian album, Human Sacrifice, at that time. Yeah.
Well, if you can imagine me being in Bloodgood looking at it going, wow, are these guys really Christian?
Yeah.
Wait a minute, that's what they said about you. Oh, right. Okay. No, I get it.
Just taking it to the next level.
Heavy, and fast, and just intense. Oh, and they were on Intense, weren't they?
They were.
There you go.
Yes, there you go.
It all ties together.
Yep. So here is that really industry-changing song.
Yes.
Human Sacrifice.
Human Sacrifice.
That in mind, be fulfilled what was spoken by the prophet.
So that was Human Sacrifice by Vengeance Rising off that first album, Human Sacrifice.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Deliverance.
Yeah, at first I thought these guys were working for UPS, but then I realized it was a different kind of deliverance,
Yes.
Oh, and they're melodic. I love the singer's voice. Yeah. He's got some really cool, just some great expression in how he sings.
Yeah, Jimmy Brown.
Yeah, really, really amazing. And, always the word, around the record label and stuff was that they were really, really in love with God. I mean, as all the guys were, but, Deliverance, I think that they were deep in their relationship, and it's always good to hear.
That is.
Yeah.
That is. Yeah, I mean, they were compared to Metallica. They actually had some great success on the MTV Headbangers Ball with
That's right.
Weapons of Our Warfare. Yeah, and so, of course, we had to choose a song for this project off that album, and it's called Flesh and Blood.
Yeah. And that's kind of what, keeps us alive.
That's right.
Flesh and Blood by Deliverance.
Great. That was Flesh and Blood. We should bring up that Jimmy Brown has recently released, as in December, what he's calling the last Deliverance album.
Okay.
Yeah. It's called Hear What I Say.
Okay, because we're going to get raptured soon anyway, right?
Yeah. So
that's fired up.
So Big D fans, if they don't know about it, it's out there now.
Okay.
Yeah.
It just came out?
In about a few months ago. Yeah,
oh, okay.
pretty recent.
So it's new.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, it is. Yep. Now, Randy Rose, a lot of people think of him as a member of Mad at the World.
Okay.
Yeah, and Mad at the World they released 7 albums on Frontline.
He was at one point Mad at the World.
Yeah, well, a member of, yes. And then he did 4 solo albums. Randy Rose did.
Okay.
Okay. And a lot of the guys from Mad at the World were on those albums. Well, one of the albums he did was like a metal album.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and it was called Sacrificium. I don't know if I said that right.
Sacrificium.
There you go.
I think you may have done that.
Yeah.
It sounds Latin.
It does. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And so we wanted to put that album, this song, also called Sacrificium, on this project because, it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And, so here it is.
Yeah. Sacrificium by Randy Rose.
He's a lamb to be slaughtered. Yeah. Living sacrifice for sins. Christ has died. I sacrificium. Forgive and forget his hands. All you've done. Dying in place of the Lamb. Sin's gone and no pain now. You now live again. Christ is sacrificium. Nails through his hands and feet, crucified like a thief. Christ is sacrificium. Forgive and forget all you've done. Dying in the place of the Lamb. Sin's gone and no pain now. You now gone, you can live again.
All right, Sacrificium, Randy Rose. We promised to play The Messiah. But before we do that, Les, let's talk about Bloodgood, because some really cool things are happening these days with Bloodgood. A lot of things. Catch us all up.
Yeah. Well, we just released in the November our first studio album in 22 years. It's called Dangerously Close.
And it's excellent.
Thank you. Thank you. You know, we really, really struggled in getting that album together. And I don't mean that in a negative way. It just the typical Bloodgood fashion of feeling that anything that could go wrong would go wrong, because ultimately the reviews have said that the lyrics and the melodies and the songs have again brought the gospel message and some warnings that, you know, we are dangerously close to the return of Christ. And, you know, we are feeling as believers that these times that we live in now are dangerously close. So, you know, I love the title, and we had a wonderful time doing it, even in the midst of the struggles, because I think that it really squeezes everybody a lot, you know, to get the most emotion out of you. And after all is said and done, we're all really in love with each other in you know, in the way that brothers should be. There's a lot of unity in the band, and we're very excited about the response of the album. The guitar playing was amazing.
Yes.
Paul Jackson and Oz Fox. Paul Jackson actually was like the point man. He was the producer of the album.
Okay.
And, you know, Michael and I were just we were there. But Paul was spearheading and did a lot of the arrangements with the songs. And then it was great to have Kevin back in the band playing drums. Also, we had David Safiro came in and did some of the mastering work.
Nice.
And, yeah, it turned out to be really, really amazing. And I really enjoyed writing with Oz. Mm-hmm. And Oz and I sang together in some of the songs, you know. You know, it was just, I'm still liking it.
Yeah. And, you know, your vocals were as sharp as ever. And, you know, sometimes you hear, like, you don't have an opportunity to sing all that much. So I know that you personally are very disciplined about working out, exercising, getting your vocal cords really strong, and it came through. And I really appreciate that you keep your instrument fine-tuned like
my
that.
chops.
Yeah.
My chops. It's my axe, you know.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. Well, we're looking forward to making more music, and so if we'd love you to pick that album up.
Yeah, and your website. Tell us your website address.
Okay, it's bloodgoodband.com. That's the website.
And
all right.
You have some fun things on that website too that you're doing. You want to do some reality shows and some things like that, right?
Yeah, we're working on a podcast radio show that is going to feature Dangerously Close. And Michael is going to do a Bible study on each and every song on the album throughout the year.
There you go.
And also, we are in the process of putting together a reality TV show it's not a TV show, but it's going to be available on the website to begin with each month, and then we'll release it to YouTube. But we want you to come and visit us on the website. So the first week of the month, you know, you'll be able to see us. And it'll basically be Oz and I, you know, shopping for I don't know, salsa or something, you know, or you know, or I'll be playing with my grandbaby, or Mike and I will be out, you know, getting coffee in Seattle, or maybe the five of us will be somewhere, or maybe it'll be me and David Safiro. I don't know.
Yeah.
But it's, you know, it's kind of like the Duck Dynasty thing where you just, you know, you write the script this way: Grandpa takes his granddaughter to get a prom dress. That's the story for the day, guys.
Yeah,
here's the camera, let it roll, you know.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you, when you put the Bloodgood boys in one room together, you've witnessed it. Oh my gosh, the Marx Brothers were our inspiration, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that sounds fun. I mean, that is something you don't find on a website. So I really hope people will go there and check that out. Now, also, the documentary film is in the process.
In the trenches.
Yeah.
In the trenches, I would say that it's going to be out in the spring or fall of this year.
Yeah.
And you know, we've got that last cut on the album called In the Trenches, and it just works so wonderful.
Yeah.
Also, by the way, did you know that we put In the Trenches together with the Seahawks video?
No.
Yeah, you should check it out on YouTube. Just go Seahawks/Bloodgood.
All right.
And we use that because it's in the trenches, it's football, and people are getting hit real hard.
Yeah, yeah.
It was cool.
That is good. Well, and Michael does live in Seattle and big time fan. So
Yeah, so remember, it's bloodgoodband.com, and you can go there and visit the website and see what we have to offer in that regard.
I love it.
Yeah.
Well, let's get on to The Messiah from your album, and that
Yeah.
you intro it.
Well, the Messiah, it's about taking the body of Christ off the cross and what that must have been like. And, oh, wow. I got
Powerful.
got a little bit of a chill right there.
Yeah.
Because it always, the thought of what God was willing to do for us is amazing. The Messiah.
Take him down, move him gently, hold his hand, wipe his face, clean the blood off, lay him here, wrap him in this cloth, lift him up, move him easy, careful now, he's a Messiah. Tears are filling, eyes of sorrow, hands are touching, no one's speaking, his eyes are empty, skin so white, his body's cold, it has no life, he's the Messiah. He's the Messiah. Into the world and down, all of creation he lives in the hearts of man. He said go,
All right, Messiah, what a powerful song. On this album, we're going to skip down a little bit. People, if they choose to get this collection, which is available.
Oh, yeah. Where do you get this?
Yeah, iTunes, Amazon, really any digital store.
Okay.
And our own website, frontlinerecords.us.
Cool.
And so this show will be on there. And so that's, 15 songs on a collection. We can't fit it all today. So we're going to skip down a little bit, and we're going to get to a song from Angelica.
Uh-huh.
Now, a lot of times people think of Angelica more like hard rock, but this song is really fitting for the project, and turns out that Dennis Cameron, the guitarist and the founder really of Angelica, has a lot of roots in metal.
Yeah.
At one point, he was considering being a Bloodgood or a Holy Soldier member.
Yeah.
That would have been maybe
he
when...
must have flipped a coin and we lost.
Yeah, maybe so. So you said David Zafiro at some point had to leave Bloodgood?
Well, David left after Rockin' a Hard Place, and then Mike and I were sitting there going, well, okay, well, I guess we're going to write this. And I think that there was a period where we were considering some other players. I think that Dennis was one of them, and also Jeff Sheets was one. And then I don't remember the circumstances, but I do remember having conversation going in that direction. And then we had Paul Jackson, who had written Demon on the Run. He had written with me and Crucify with me, and so he'd been involved with Bloodgood albums from day one. But we asked him to come in and do all the guitar work on Out of the Darkness, and he did a great job, as you know.
Yeah.
And he's been with us ever since. So
yeah. Yeah, and so I think it all worked out well.
Let's bring it back to Dennis and Angelica.
Right, and I mean, he ended up doing a couple albums on Frontline with his own band, and this song here, I love the title. There's only one hero,
and there is.
Yeah,
and that hero is Jesus Christ.
There you go.
And so here it is. There's only one hero, Angelica.
Something I'm saying, something I found. All I blame is like a man with soul. I've been bought for a price more precious than gold. He lived a life but not for his own. A perfect sacrifice himself to make known. There's only hero. There's only one hero to know. What was I that you should die? Die to set me free. I only wish the whole world could see. You set my feet upon the rock, a rock that doesn't roll. You saved my life, you saved my soul. The Son of God and heir to the throne. A perfect sacrifice, it's done to make known. There's only hero.
that was Angelica singing There's Only One Hero. To close out our show, I really like this song. It's called Alive. The main member of this group, George Ochoa, was in Deliverance.
Okay.
Yeah, and so he's got a lot of roots there. And then he under the name Recon, they only recorded one album with Frontline. It was called Behind Enemy Lines. Mostly because they didn't tour, they didn't really pump up that name Recon.
But it's a great album.
It is. It
Yeah.
really is. And it's and the song is like the perfect song to end this collection. So
Wow, and this looks like an effort that was written by George Ochoa.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Ochoa. Did I say that right? Ochoa?
Ochoa.
Ochoa.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yet Roberts.
Yeah.
I like that name. And Ronson Webster.
Yes.
And here it is. Alive.
I know how you feel. I'm deciding lonely. You try hold some pills, but in the end you're empty. Living life like a world inside.
All right, that's the perfect ending for our show.
Yeah.
Les, thanks for being here.
It was really good being here in my own casa.
Yeah.
My house. They brought the studio to me. That's really fired up, Frontline. Thank you very much.